Hey guys, so for today you have a worksheet that is asking you, if you look at the worksheet that's attached for today, there are 3 questions and it's asking you some information about regression models and correlation based on tables that are given. So you have 3 different questions, 3 different tables, and you've got to find the equation that matches that table. So this is why yesterday's notes are going to come in handy. So you're going to need to use Desmos to find this because you guys don't have calculators at home. So you're going to go to desmos.com, which is what I'm sharing my screen with you. When you get there, you're going to hit Start Graphing or Graphing Calculator. It's the blue button in the middle. Once you click on it, even if you don't have an account, you can use it for free. You just start typing over here on the left-hand side. Now, if you click this plus symbol and go down to Table, it's going to pop up and allow you to put a table in. So if you remember yesterday when we wrote down the regression models for Desmos, we wrote our X sub 1 and Y sub 1 with those numbers. And that's because Desmos uses those numbers when it's graphing. So if your table comes up and it happens to look like this, X2, Y2, we don't want that. We want to make sure that that says X sub 1 and Y sub 1 because our regression models are using 1. So that's what we want to use. So I'm going to do an example question that's not on your worksheet, so you can still do all 3 of those on your own. So my question asked me to find and graph the regression model and the equation, and it's given me a table of temperatures and chirping rates of different birds. So the temperature is obviously my X value because we cannot control that. And the chirping rate in the birds, how active they are, depends on the temperature. So I'm literally just going to enter the numbers that I see. So I'm going to go down my X column here and enter all of my numbers. So it just moved up by 5s in my table. And then the chirping rates are a bunch of different random numbers. And again, all I'm doing right now is entering data. So I'm looking at my table and I am typing it into the computer. I'm not doing any math. This is all given to me. So now, and you can use your notes from yesterday, look at your notes. Which model does this look like? Now that it has been plotted, does this look like, let me write on it. We'll do red. Does this look like it's a quadratic? Does it look linear? Sorry, that's not a straight line. Or does it look exponential? And to me, it looks linear. It doesn't look like they're all straight on that line, but it does look linear more than any other model. Like, I don't even see how I could make that fit on quadratic or exponential. So I'm going to choose linear. I think it looks linear. So what we're going to do now is go back over here to Desmos, and after you type something, if you just click underneath it, you see how it says 2 and then 3. You can just keep typing and get new boxes. And a new box is kind of like a new text box to type in. So I'm just underneath here, I'm going to choose the linear regression model. So I'm literally on my keyboard going to type Y1, and then I'm going to hit the shift sign and hit that little squiggle. It's on the far left side of your top part of your keyboard. mx1 plus b. So I told it to make a linear equation by typing this in, and it did. You can see the red line that it put right through the dots. And so now I have all the information I need to answer my questions. So the first part of your question is going to say, find and graph the regression line. And then it says y equals blank. Well, here's what you would type in. Based on the information it gave me back, it told me my m value is 4.8 and my b value is negative 20. So my equation that I'm going to write down on my paper will be y equals 4.8x minus 220.9. Okay, now I'm rounding. I'm just using the first decimal there. I'm not rounding, I'm just using the first decimal there. But you take the numbers it gave you, and you plug them in the places they go. The M goes in place of the M, the B goes in place of the B. We know in an equation we leave the y and the x there. The y lets us know it's a function. The x lets us know it's linear because there's one x and it doesn't have any exponents and it's stuck next to the slope. So we plug that in. So that's the first part of our question. Then it says to find the correlation coefficient. So you look for that R value right there, and it's 0.99, which is a super strong positive correlation. And we can see from left to right, this graph is going up. That's a positive slope. And then the last part of your question is going to ask you to find something that's missing, right? So on your page, it tells you like femur lengths and heights, and then it asks you for a specific femur length. Well, since my question is talking about temperatures and bird chirping and the relationship between the two, my question says find the number of chirpings that you would have at 100 degrees. Well, when I'm looking at these temperatures, I don't see 100 degrees. It's not given to me. So I'm going to have to use my model down here to figure it out. Well, 100 degrees, if I look on my table, all the degrees are under the X column. So temperatures are X values and chirps are Y values. Well, they gave me the temperature. They said 100 degrees. Find the chirps, the value of the chirping. How many chirpings would there be at 100 degrees? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 100 for my X value and solve for my Y value. If I know one of them and I'm missing the other, I can solve for it. Now, if they had said find the temperature when you hear 300 chirps, I would plug in 300 for my Y value and solve for my X value. But they have given me an X value. They've given me a temperature. So I'm going to use this model. I'm going to delete the X. And in parentheses right there, I'm going to put what the X value is. They're telling me that the X value is 100. The temperature is 100 degrees. So when I plug in 100 to this model, the Y value equals 259.1. So I would just round that up to 250. So when the temperature is 100 degrees, there should be 200, what was our answer? 260 chirps. And as you can see, let me zoom out some, that dot ended up going right there on our line. So it fits into this data, and that is correct. And we use the proper model. And so that's all you have to do for today's assignment. There are 3 questions. Like I said, they give you different pieces of data, but they ask the same 3 questions. So you're going to come on to Desmos.com, hit the little plus symbol, and enter everything into your table. Choose based on the way that your points are plotted and the shape that they're making. Use your notes. Choose which model you think it is and type that in, and it will tell you all the important information that you can then use to answer your questions. And then if it asks you for a Y value and gives you an X value, you plug the X in. If it gives you a Y value and asks you for the X, you plug in the Y. So you use your model to find the answers. And that is it for today. You now have the rest of the time to complete these 3 questions and upload this when you're finished for today.